So if you've ever had a F21 code on your washing machine, a Duet, Whirlpool Duet, typically what happens is this gets plugged up, and there's a filter in here. As you can see, a little filter there that gets plugged up, and then it doesn't work, and then it won't pump out. So you have to empty this out. The problem is there's could be 8-10 gallons of water in your washer, and when you start unscrewing this, it'll start pouring out, and so you'll have to have something to catch that water. And I would not unscrew it all the way. I would unscrew it part way until you get that water drained out of there most of the way, because otherwise you'll have a mess on the floor. So once you get that out of there, you got to remember to keep this tab lined up with this, otherwise this won't go in right. So you got to make sure that's on top, the big one. There's a small little notch on the bottom that fits in that one there. So make sure you line that up to put that back in. Now if that doesn't fix your problem, if you don't find anything in there, typically it's your pump. The pump can be bad. And the last F21 code we got, I could feel in there once I unplugged the washer, and I could feel that the impeller was just laying in there, so it had broken off. So I ordered a new pump, and so now we're going to replace that pump, and I'll show you how. So what you have to do is you have to take the front panel off, of course, to get at this. And this thing here, a little rubber thing, is what holds it in place. So you have to lift that up, and then the whole unit slides to the side to release that. And then you can pull it out a little bit, and then you need a pair of vice grips or something for the spring clamp on this hose connection, and then a screwdriver for this hose connection. And then there's also a little plug here. The cover is broken off in shipping, but there's a little cover here, but there's a little plug you have to unplug here too. Those are the three connections that you have to do. You connect the new ones on, plug it in, and then slide that back in the slot until that rubber piece seats in the bottom of the washer. So we'll do that next. Okay, as you can see, I've already drained it. I've got a little towel here in case it spills a little bit. The first thing we have to do is remove this one, and what we're going to do is push up on this. If you have it elevated, you can push up on this little rubber piece, or you can pry it up with a screwdriver from inside while pushing. So that was the little flapper thing. You have to push that up. Once you have that pushed up, you can push this to the side and pull it up. There's a little release here you have to push down on to pull the plug off. And as you can see, I did unplug the washer first. Then we can loosen this clamp up and pull this hose off. Oh, that one was already coming off. So that's the old pump. I already had that somewhat loose. So then we put the new one on. We'll start with this hose. Push that in there. Actually, we'll have to back this clamp off. Then push the new pump on there, and then bring the spring clamp forward. Make sure that's seated all the way around. And then we put this hose on, spin the clamp around so it's easy to get at. That one down, plug the little plug back in, and then line up these little slots in the holes. And once you get those lined up, move that back over to the left, and then push your little rubber piece back down. You can feel it underneath, make sure it comes back down out of there. And once that's seated in there, then that won't move out of there. That's all there's to it.